SI.com has a story out today it's a good conversation piece. I'm going to argue that it's slightly wrong. I mean, the first part of it is exactly right and then some, and I don't even think it's debatable. But there's another part of it that didn't go far enough. I think that's where I'll take it. Now, of course, I'm going to be labeled a hot take homer, I guess, but I would like to think I'm anything but that, but I can see it coming. They don't go far enough with this. The title of the SI story is Texas Longhorns head coach listed as best job in college football. Yeah. It says the seat filled by Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian is seen as arguably the most coveted job in all of college football. Yes, it's not even close, but I can take it further. Okay. Why is it the best job? The reasons are almost overwhelming, and it doesn't mean they're better on the football field. It's not just what a job is about. It's the best job football-wise. It is by far the best job for quality of life. You can't beat it. I'm not sure you can beat it anywhere in sports. And I know that sounds like being a real homer, but add it up, man. Add it up. It doesn't get any better, wealthier, or easier than what the Texas job is. So why is it the best job in college sports? That's pretty simple. The sport is about paying players now. Okay, you win by buying players. You win by buying the right players, enough of the right players. You got to get it right most of the time. But the game is a money sport, and the highest bidder wins. So given that, nobody can and will pay like Texas. In fact, there's a collective, I don't know why it's taken so long, but there's a collective freak out in the media business today just about the story that's out about how much Texas spends. I would just keep saying, I told you so. But very credible reporting says Texas has doubled Ohio State's number from a year ago. They won a championship and won it pretty easily, spending $20 million. That's the credible report. The other reports of the last few weeks that is now being doubled down and tripled down by most credible news outlets is that Texas will spend $40 million on players. So they'll double what Ohio State did a year ago in a championship season. And the answer to that, okay, and again, that's a whole nother story, the collective freak out around the country for a pretty good reason, but they'll do that 40 million number. They'll do that easily. It's nothing. It's nothing. They'd pay $60 million if need be. They'd pay $75 million if they felt like it and needed to. But there's a but. I mean, that is the biggest advantage you will have in the sport today. But I think Texas's advantage goes way beyond that. And I remember posting a podcast segment months ago, and I think now people are starting to understand what I was talking about. And people didn't get it at the time. Of course, you became fans and thought about it's on the field. And I think it was something like the SEC will regret adding Texas. And the regret is you can't play their game. You can't match. You just can't. And they have other intangibles that you can't match either. They're great to have along because everybody else makes some money too, but they'll outspend you 5-1 if need be. But the Texas advantage goes well beyond. That job is so good because it's well beyond money. Okay? Getting paid, for instance, think about this. You can get rich. I mean, all these college coaches are rich. The contracts are stupid. The renewals are the stupid part of the contracts. You don't see people do this in the NFL very often, if at all. Okay? They don't immediately freak out and sign a coach to another 10 years like you see in college football all the time. It's absurd. So not just Texas does that. And plenty of other people have set the standard for doubling down on contracts with coaches. And a lot of guys are rich. Getting paid to coach in Columbus, or getting paid to coach in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, or Ann Arbor, Michigan, or getting rich coaching in College Station. It's one thing. You're rich. You're rich. And you might like those places. And the players you have might like those places. But being a highly paid player in Austin is far different. You live like an NFL player in Austin. These guys do. In celebrity-filled Austin. But you don't face the cutthroat life that comes with the NFL. I mean, it might be the best probably be the best market to be in if you're a player. If you're a wealthy player getting paid by Texas. Yes, you can be rich in Columbus. You can be rich in College Station. It's not going to feel the same way. You're not living in a high rise. You're not living like you do here in a celebrity-filled city. You get to act like a star without all the tough stuff that comes with being in the NFL. In LA, you'd say, well, but what about Los Angeles? I mean, USC has money. They'll throw money at players. But in Los Angeles, you get lost. You might get a little lost in Austin, but you still get to live like that. You get to live as a celebrity. You live like an NFL player in a big major market that has celebrities, but you don't have the tough stuff of the NFL. And it's far different than living in College Station, obviously, or Ann Arbor, any of those places. So, I mean, look, I'm not saying those are terrible places to live, but for a star who wants to act like a star and get paid like a star with a Lamborghini, Austin is a huge advantage. So, yeah, the coach gets rich, everybody gets rich, but the quality of life takes it up a notch or two, maybe more. At Texas, this is going to sound weird, but fans show up, okay? They show up in huge numbers. You're always going to sell out. People are always going to care. They're always going to pay attention. It is year-round coverage, all that stuff, no doubt about it. But they're not nuts like other places, like dangerously nuts, like obsessive nuts like other places. In the Deep South, where football is it's life, it's a way of life. There's not much else to do. Heck, fans would throw bricks through Kalen DeBoer's front window for not being Nick Saban. I mean, they are fanatical, no doubt about it, really into it, unlike any other place. But you would say, well, that's what you want fans to be. No, you don't. You want them to show up. You want them to pay. You want them to make sure you're rich. But at Texas, you don't have that nutcase kind of thing. You avoid it, really. In Columbus, the scrutiny is nonstop. They're on Ryan Day's ass all the time. All the time. It's never good enough. Texas fans are much easier on the coach. I'm not saying they're passive, but it's a much, much easier fan base to deal with. The pressure's not as great as other places because the pressure is not fanatical. People that follow Texas, people that live in Austin, they have something else to do. They'll move on. You're expected to win, and you should win because you have every advantage in the world. But those fans have another life. They're not crazed, I guess is the way to put it. They may boo, they may cheer, all that stuff, but they're far different, certainly far different than life in the NFL. In New York or Cleveland or somewhere like that, where it is brutal. Brutal. Not in Austin. Not coaching Texas. I'll keep going. You'll always be paid among the highest. They'll just match anybody else. Will always just renew your deal and keep paying you and paying you and paying you. You will get paid. You never have to worry about one contract at Texas, and you never have to worry about money again. And that's true of a lot of places. But money is never an object. And for most of college football now, money is the object outside of a few programs. At Texas, it's never an object for you as the coach or the players or the Gulf Stream or anything else you want. You have access to the best talent. Now, I mean, I know you send the jet wherever you want, but you're also in a state with the best high school football players in the country. There's just more of them. It's the best. You have access. You have total access. You have every built-in advantage. It produces the best talent in the country. You get then this is true of a lot of coaches, but certainly at Texas, you get the jets, you get the cars, you get the memberships, you get everything you need and want. And then you have the built-in advantages. And I think less pressure. I really do. Now, this is the other part that I think sounds kind of crazy. And it just depends on your way of life. And ultimately, it's interesting. Steve Sarkisian may put it to the test. And I kind of understand why he would try the NFL. But it won't be the quality of life. It won't. It's a much different way of life. But depending on your criteria, I think a good argument can be made that coaching at Texas is the best job in all of sports. SI ranked the college jobs. Texas is one. That's not new. Heck, Barry Switzer decades ago, while he was coaching in Oklahoma, said it's by far the best job. And that's before it became a sugar daddy sport. Here's the list. It goes Texas, Georgia, Ohio State. A&M came at number 5, which does make some sense. That is a loyal fan base, passive fan base. They're not going to be on your ass, but you're in College Station. They had Oklahoma at 10, which I guess makes some sense too. I get it. But none of them compare to the football you get, the money you get, and the quality of life you get. This is the crazy part. Is it the best job in all of sports? Depends on how you want to measure that. You're going to get paid as well as anyone. Coaching the Lakers, coaching the Red Sox, coaching the Yankees, even coaching the Cowboys, even though they just go and hire some doofus. But those are iconic jobs. They come with brutal baggage, though. Brutal baggage. The Texas job is easy in terms of life and week in and week out, hassles and stress. It's easy compared to NFL jobs. You have unlimited funds, contract renewals. You're probably paid better than most NFL coaches. Certainly you get new contracts easier than NFL coaches. The pressure is tolerable. You have unlimited talent. Easy media market, it is. Imagine Cleveland and New York. They will eat you alive. It never stops. At Texas, life's pretty good. There's other stuff. And you have a hand-picked schedule. You get to set up everything the way you want. And it's a great place to recruit and live. It's better all the way around. Now, having said that, because it is a much easier life than the NFL. Much. It's just a different way. People go, oh, you have to recruit. Give me a break. If you're of the elite, you pretty much get your pick. It's not that difficult. But the NFL, the money at Texas is just as good for the coach. That said, if Steve Sarkisian were to win a championship, and this part I do get, but I think his explanation would be just on football alone. Okay, if Steve Sarkisian were to win a championship at Texas, and I don't think NFL owners are really wanting to hire college coaches. It doesn't work. It's usually not necessary. It's a pretty rare thing to do, and it's blown up in everybody's face too many times. But if he were to win a championship, and I think he would be marketable, he's a likable guy, a play caller, so-called quarterback whisperer, all the stuff that owners would like. And an owner will be enamored with that. And the presence, public presence. So an owner would like that. Would he take a job if the NFL called? I'd get why he would do it. It won't be a better job. Okay? Life won't be the same. The money may not even be the same. The pressure is certainly not the same. And the pressure from the media, the pressure from the fans, and the pressure of the day-to-day grind of the job. When you coach at Texas, you go and just retool and find players other people can't even touch. In the NFL, you're living on a tiny, tiny margin. You lose 2 guys, and you go from third to last in the division in no time. You go from second in the division to last in no time. The margin of error in the NFL is so tiny. It's brutal. You are living on an edge every single week. You coach at Texas, they have 4 tough games, 5 maybe. Then the others almost handpicked. So, but why would he do it? Why would he do it? I would get why. I would completely understand why. If he didn't go, and that's because the money is great, the life is great, the pressure is tolerable, all the things I just said. Why would you go then? Right? Why? You're going to get a contract, but it'll be maybe a 4 or 5 year deal. And if you don't perform within 2 or 3 years, you will get whacked. And they're not going to re-up you. Okay, they will whack you and move on. They don't care. They don't have time to care. So why would he or some high-profile college coach do it. It's the ultimate challenge, right? I mean, I could see why. I mean, you would have to be acknowledging that all the other stuff is an advantage for Texas. You're going to win always. You're always going to have all the money you want, all the jets, all the toys you want. I mean, just life doesn't get any better. The quality of life cannot be beaten. But it's the challenge. I mean, every week in the NFL, you have to come up with something. Every week, you have to move a player around. Every week, you have to find a guy to replace somebody else. It is a constant X's and O's personal challenge that I could see why somebody says, I'm going to get a bloody nose, and it's going to be brutal, and they are going to hammer me in Cleveland. But I really want to try it. That's why you would do it. That would make sense. It would also make perfect sense if it ever came about. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But if it ever came out about for him and he said no, that would make perfect sense. If he said yes, it's because you get to challenge yourself at the craft at the toughest, highest level. Nothing can compare. And coaching at Texas is light years different than life in the NFL when you're the head coach. Everything changes. Everything is ramped up. There is no margin. There is no, I'll buy my way out of this. So yeah, this list is absolutely spot on. Yeah, it's not even close. It's the best gig. It's the best gig in college sports by far. It is arguably the best gig in all of sports by far.